Hello,
Oh, hello.
I'm Sammi,
And I'm Steve.
and you're listening to the Soda Jerks?
We're workshopping it. We're
Yeah, you're
workshopping it.
listening to Soda Jerks. Wait, I had an idea for a tagline with it too.
Ooh,
Will Mom Talk survive this recap podcast?
I like it.
Okay, yeah, all right.
This is our new $1 million idea. Since The Bachelor is floundering, we probably should mention that apparently the Golden Bachelor / Golden Bachelorette, these are supposed to be like the wholesome
Mhm.
like versions of The Bachelor. And somehow the new Golden Bachelor is already the most hated man in America. So we're doing good.
Yeah, all I heard was that he's like, "Well, my desired age range is between, like, 45 and 60," and
And he's like 66.
I was like, "Gross."
What is he
Now,
doing?
to be fair, I am in an age gap relationship, but, my
Yeah.
husband isn't like that. So,
He's not like other guys. No,
he's not.
but also you're not like oldies only, and he's
Yeah,
not like, if I don't have a young lady in my life, I don't know what I'll do with myself.
right. He has dated people his age before as well.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, totally gross, totally gross. Yeah, so, like, you texted me and you're like, "Well, what are we gonna do?" And I reminded you, well, and this is, like, I even forgot. I was, like, talking to Deja, who does our clips, about it, and I was like, Pop Culture Diner actually started because I wanted to talk about Riverdale." And I was like, "Oh, it's like Pop's Diner, get it? Like, Pop
Mhm.
Culture Diner was from Pop's Diner." And I was like, "But that's kind of fun because then you could talk about other pop culture things and not just Riverdale." And then it just so happened that, like, the person I was doing that with went to law school, whatever. No, just kidding.
Lame.
And I did some, like, video game recorded stuff, and I can't remember what we called that. We had, like, a name for it though, and that hasn't really gone anywhere. And I've done some horror movie stuff with one of my friends, and she had to have a cool kid, annoying. And so this has been the thing that's just persisted over the years because we both have
Mhm.
no lives. No,
Exactly. No,
no, we just
it's
prioritize
me.
this.
I'm
It's
I'm
just you.
like a pesky fungus. You can't get rid of me.
No, and nor do I want to. So
Thank
when
you.
you were like, "Oh, like, this is what are we gonna do if there's no roast plate special?" I'm like, "We pivot." First of all,
Mhm.
there's plenty of Mormon content out there, and I am fascinated by Mormons and
Same.
Christian fundamentalism and all that stuff. And there's lots of that in pop culture. So there's lots of things to cover. So I'm like, we've got Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, we've got this show, we've got Sister Wives, and we've got plenty of things we can talk about.
Yeah.
And there, we can always revisit classic seasons of The Bachelor. We can read more Bachelor Nation books. I still want to do a recap of Unreal. We could watch other shows like Love
Oh,
Island. I still want to watch
I've been to Salt
Traitors.
Lake City. I'm all about it. I've
Yeah.
eaten at the Shake Shack in your airport, Salt Lake City.
Wow,
So
amazing.
yeah, I know,
I
really
just
impressive.
I just told my husband that Crumble was a Mormon company and he didn't know that.
Oh.
Yeah. And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know." Have you had a Crumble cookie, by the way?
No, I don't think I can eat them. I don't think they
Oh,
make
yeah,
food
that's
for me.
true. I always forget. Like, I just think about myself and I don't think
Mm.
about you. It's so thoughtless. We need someone else to, like, eat them vicariously for us, or we need to try to, like, recreate crumble cookies. Like, we can
Mhm.
make them gluten-free and dairy-free, and then we can eat them.
Well, I mean, gluten flour tends to make things, like, literally crumble in your hands.
Yeah,
So,
so true. So
you
true.
know.
Wait, what's your gluten-free flour of choice?
I don't know. I use like an all-purpose, which is like a mix between almond flour and rice flour and some other stuff.
Like the
But
Bob's Red Mill stuff?
yeah, yeah,
Love
I
that.
use like a grocery store brand version of that. And
Mhm.
Bob's Red Mill intimidates me because there's like, here's 73 different gluten-free flours, and each one is better for a different thing. But I don't bake enough for it to make that much of a difference. So
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
Yeah, my pantry isn't full of Bob's Red Mill products or anything like that.
Oh.
Bob's Red Mill, sponsor us because it is actually full of, and my fridge as well is full of Bob's Red Mill
No, it's
products.
good stuff.
Yeah.
Bob treats me well. I'm overwhelmed with the cornucopia of choices that Bob offers me. It's
My husband
overflowing.
is, like, a little afraid of xanthan gum because I may have overdid it in a dish last year or the year before, and it came
Ooh.
out really gummy. And then, like, I'll be like, "I'm gonna bake this thing, and I'm gonna make it gluten-free and dairy-free," like, I'll make it,
Mhm,
like, vegan and gluten-free so that most of my class, like, can eat it and whatever,
mhm.
and he'll go, "You're not gonna put xanthan gum in it, are you?" I'm like, I might put a sprinkle in, okay? It
Just
does
a
really
smidge.
help. It helps to bring things together, but I
Mhm,
made like a crumble. It was a like a strawberry rhubarb crumble, or like a crisp, you know?
mhm.
And it was just like jelly. It was
Ah,
not yeah, it was a little too much. But anyway, so yeah, so we have plenty of things that we can talk about and we can literally blab about anything. So we're not going anywhere, even
mhm.
if like Bachelor Nation, like, bursts into flames. Like,
Crumbles into the sea.
yeah, you can't get rid of Pop Culture Diner, which is the umbrella that exists above everything. And I did that as a brand strategy and not because I got lazy and didn't want to make a second podcast.
Mhm.
That's not why
Exactly.
I
That would
did
never
it.
happen.
Yeah. But anyway, so we will persist. The horrors persist, and so will we. And by the way, speaking of horrors, I watched two things this week.
Do tell.
One was Frankenhooker.
Great movie. Frank
Yeah,
Henlotter, one of my favorite
we'll
directors.
talk about that. But one was Frankenhooker, and then one was episodes 3 and 4 of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And
What's the difference?
guess which was more feminist.
Oh, it's gotta be Frankenhooker
by a mile. Like,
by a country mile. Oh my
yeah.
gosh. Want a date? What a
Oh
great
my
thing to yell at a man before you strangle him.
I have never seen that movie, and it was funny because, like, Deja asked me, she's like, "Oh," like, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go see a movie tonight," and she's like, "What are you gonna go see?" And then I instantly regretted saying I was gonna go see a movie tonight. I was like, "Oh, because last week I saw Bring Her Back, which, wow, so good, very depressing, but very good."
Mhm.
I don't know if you saw Talk to Me or Bring Her Back, but
I've seen Talk to Me, yeah.
yeah, Bring Her Back is really I liked Talk to Me more, but Bring Her Back was really good, and I've heard some people say they like that one more, so anyway,
Mm.
whatever. But if you like, just absolute bangers about grief, you'll like either one of those movies. And, yeah, so I watched that last week, and then Monday, one of my local chain theaters, did special programming, and had, like, queer horror movies and things like that, and had Frankenhooker as part of, like, the program, and I didn't know anything about it going in. I just saw it, and I was like, "Bye now." Like, I was like, "I know this will be good. I know this will be fun." And for those who don't know, it's like a 1990 movie, about like a girlfriend who gets turned into like gets reconstituted using sex worker parts. And surprisingly, it is like quite like sex worker positive and body
Mhm.
positive and queer friendly
And fun, and it's
and
funny.
respectful and, like, ahead of its time and really funny. Oh my gosh, that
Yeah.
guy's mom was one of my favorite parts of the whole movie, like, her kind of overacting made it like, the person who did, like, put it in the program said, like, "It's not quite John Waters, but it's pretty
Mhm.
close," and I would totally agree. It's very, like, in the vein of John Waters, so if you like those kinds of movies, you'll
Yeah.
totally love Frankenhooker. But I was so delighted by, yeah, like how well it holds up for being a movie from 1990. Like they couldn't make that exact thing today, but especially with all the drug stuff, but like you could you could redo the premise in a certain way, but like I will say Lisa Frankenstein and Frankenhooker very much have very similar vibes,
Mhm.
in a way that I really enjoy. So, and then I
I would recommend the rest of, Frank Henenlotter's films too.
yeah,
Basket Case,
Basket Case, yeah.
which is another one of my all-time faves, and then, Brain Damage, another banger.
Yes, they discussed that in the intro, and I was like, I gotta watch all the. I really enjoyed
Mhm.
it. I had such a fun time watching that movie. So, anyway, that's what I saw, and then
There
the
you go.
next day I watched The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, and I was like, wow, this
Ah,
is.
is
I want to
Montauk gonna survive that?
Yeah, I wanna go back to watching Frankenhooker. So, anyway,
Ah, so much
yeah.
feminism going on in this show. Oh,
Yeah, there's something I mean, the
you
thing
hear
that's
that sound, Sammy? It's the glass ceiling breaking.
yeah, I mean, that's the thing that's so interesting about this show, right? We've talked about it before, but, like, that these women are making so much money compared to the men in their lives, and, yet, it's like this stuff is hard to deprogram. It's hard to walk away from. It's really hard to watch Jen try to, in my opinion, it sounds like she is deconstructing in real time. And it's really hard to watch because,
Mhm.
especially these episodes, like, because we find out that she's pregnant and she does not seem thrilled about it,
No.
um, to put it
The wrong
mildly.
kinda crying.
Yeah, it was not fun, and, like, I just I don't know, who knows? This
Mhm.
is all TV, whatever, but it's like the way that we observe it, it's like the things that's, like, going on in her head. I just don't It's hard because you watch these shows. Like, I just, before we started recording, I had seen a video from, and I'm not super familiar with Welcome to Plathville, but
Mhm.
I know it exists, and I know some of the people, and I've watched, like, Fundy Fridays episodes on, like, the basics of the show.
Sure.
And there was, like, one woman who was, like, married to one of the sons on the show, and was recording some of, like, the really terrible stuff he said to her, and just shared a video, like, from a few hours ago. She just posted it where he was basically, I mean, just being transphobic, and it's not
Mhm.
surprising, but, she was basically like, "Well, if we have a kid, I'm gonna love him no matter what," and he's like, "Well, I wouldn't do that," and, we
Great.
we feel fundamentally different, like, and she said in the video, like, she's like, "You literally said, like, I would not put my seed in you if you felt this way," or whatever, and I was like, "That's such a weird, like, weird, gross, and
Yeah,
very
fellas,
biblical way to
don't
put
call
it."
it your seed. That's
It's so weird, but, I mean, it's not surprising, like, what he grew up in and whatever,
yeah.
but, it's like they were together, I know, at the beginning of the show, and at some point within, the few seasons that they had run, like, they, split up, I think divorced. And she has talked a lot about, like, her deconstruction process, like that I'm a little more aware of than the show itself.
Mhm.
Um, and it's just like it's hard because that happens on the show. It's, some of the Duggars to some extent, a couple of them have done some forms of deconstruction as well.
Mhm.
And it's like, so that's what I'm so transfixed with that on the show. I'm just like, I feel like Taylor's almost there, and I feel like Jen's almost there, but who knows what'll happen. But I feel like with the two of them, they've seen the worst in the people who are supposed to love them,
Mhm.
and it makes them question, like, their faith and what they've been taught about family and commitment and all that. And I
Mhm.
mean, I was actually kind of shocked in, like, the 3rd episode or whatever when she was still saying, like, Dakota was her boyfriend. I was like, "What? I thought you guys
Yeah,
were
I
done.
that
Did
messed
I
with me
miss
too. It's
something?"
just like they have this huge blow up at the outdoor picnic dinner, whatever the heck they
Mhm.
were doing. You
And at the
understand,
Halloween party too,
and
which
at
is
the
where we
Halloween
start.
party.
We Yeah,
Yeah.
at that fight.
Um, so you've got those 2 big fights. You have the amazing, like, dressing down of Dakota where she brings in the other woman, sits her on a couch, and they compare notes on how shitty Dakota is. This
Yeah.
whole thing, and it's like, yeah, that's the father of your child, but Jesus, you don't have to keep him around. Although, I do like when her sister's like, "So you still sleeping with him?" And she's like, "Yeah, but then he asked me to cuddle and I tell him no, gross." It's like, "Well, you gotta stop doing this." I mean, you could do it. It's funny to me, but I
Yeah.
can't imagine that it's a good situation to be in. I don't know. Dakota just seems like a leech. This is a show with a lot of leeches in it, and
Yeah.
he's sucking the life out of you.
Yeah, he definitely sucks. Um, I mean, I think it's interesting because it's like this is the whole thing, like, like, the BYU interviews and things like that. You put people in a really repressive environment, and then they do
Mhm.
all of these creative things to, like, like, because I think it's episode 4, right, where Layla and her boyfriend, I forgot his name because he's not that memorable. Well, we're not even getting that much time.
Mhm.
Cameron.
Cameron.
Um, so Layla and Cameron are, like, out, and he says something about, like, I can't remember. It was like he was like tentative about beer, and she's like, "Yeah, but you've, like, had weed or like wanted to have weed or whatever. And he's like, yeah, well, but these are
He
the
looks like
rules.
he would sell it to me. I mean, the guy is like,
But apparently he comes from like a very like high up conservative Mormon family, like with,
oh
you know,
god.
high ranking people or something like that. She mentioned something like that. But
Sure.
but yeah, it's just so funny because it's like you see those BYU interviews on like Instagram or TikTok or whatever, and they'll talk about like all the weird loops that they jump through to like do things, you know, like
Mhm.
creative drugs and creative sexual stuff and whatever. And it's like, it doesn't surprise me that someone like Taylor, who I'm really glad that she got redeemed too in these episodes, because Miranda was like, she's lying. And then Taylor's like, here's everything we exactly did. And then Miranda's like, she wasn't wrong. Actually, that
Mhm.
was all the stuff we did. And she's like, well, maybe our definitions were different. And then she said, okay, no, I was just embarrassed. I'm like, thank you, because it didn't make sense to me. I'm like, there's no incentive for Taylor to lie. Like I said last time we recorded, I don't see why she would have lied about that. It doesn't make her look good. And
Mhm.
obviously, like her family is not accepting. So there's no reason for her to come out and say all these things. She's not trying to damage other people. I think she's just trying to own up to it and
Yeah.
try to clear the air. Um, so anyway, but it's like when you come from that repressive environment and then you get involved in this thing, you know, this whatever you want to call it, soft swinging, whatever.
Mhm.
And then you come out of that, it's like you don't she didn't get to have like a rebellious college period or anything like that. Like she's been a
Sure.
mom for so long, she was married for so long. I could see how she's just like doesn't really think about, like, this is acceptable, this isn't, or, like, this is gonna,
Mhm.
or, like, what it'll do to her, like, emotionally or anything like that. I don't think she really thinks about that at all.
No.
So, yeah,
Not even in the slightest. No.
yeah, so that's not very surprising to me, but yeah, so I know we're jumping all over the place, but, that's
It's
kinda
okay.
it's like, I feel like every episode of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is kind of like a fever dream. Like,
Yeah.
you're just like, "I'm
Oh,
sorry, what?" Like,
completely.
sometimes I have to rewind and go, "Wait, what did you just say?
And
Did
it's
you just
like
say what I thought you said?"
we've mentioned this before. We always talk about the power of the edit in reality TV.
Mhm.
And here it's crazy because it's so like transparent and just like why are they trying to make me like Whitney? I watched Whitney last season. Stop trying to make me like Whitney. What's going on?
I mean, I like her just because
No.
No, I like her just because I do think she's, like, genuinely funny. I said
Yeah,
that
no,
before. I
she's
don't
funny,
li
but she's a
I
great
wouldn't
villain.
I
But I
wouldn't,
don't
like,
like
hang out with her, and I do think she is a villain. But,
Mhm.
that's the weird thing, 'cause didn't it wasn't it in one of these episodes, didn't they say, like, "Is Jen the new Whitney?" And I was like, "No."
Mhm.
Whitney is Whitney. Jen
No,
is Jen. Jen
yeah,
is not
Whitney
the
is
new
Whitney.
Whitney.
No,
Okay.
Jen doesn't have it in her. She's not conniving enough. She can't do the Whitney stuff. And that's the thing is like
Yeah.
anyone with even the slightest like little taste for power on this show is basically evil.
Yeah.
Uh, Taylor is almost exempt from it just because she's so messy and just doesn't give a shit that she's just this kind of like destructive, like Tasmanian devil force, which I really enjoy.
Yeah.
But some of the other girls, it's just like they get steamrolled too easily. You know, when you
Mhm.
have someone like Jen could never be, a Whitney or Demi or any of that stuff because she doesn't have what it takes, the fortitude to be that person. But the
Right.
rest of them are just like clawing at each other, just trying to take control of things and eat each other alive, and it scares the shit out of me. It makes me very uncomfortable.
That's such an interesting take on the show. Okay, this is one thing that I thought was very funny. I'm not saying
Mhm.
I like Whitney as a like I would hang out with her. I do think
Sure.
she's funny. I think
I
she
like her as
understands
a
social
television
media.
character.
Yes, she's a very good television character, and I think she understands social media very well. But this was
Mhm.
my one of my favorite, honestly, TV moments ever. And this kind of spanned episodes 3 and 4. So it's been kind of advantageous to watch these in pairs. So she's pregnant, right? And like they're about to have a baby. And she has it, I think, in episode 3, right? And She's like, "It's, I heard there was a lot of drama going on, and it's just too bad because I had other really important I was creating life, so I was too busy,
I was
so
growing a human
it's
child in my
just
body.
too bad. Everything is different, and I feel different." Okay, and then we cut to the next episode, and she's, like, all blissed out, still like, "New mom, isn't this baby so tiny? It's so tiny, and, like, the world's problems feel so small when I look at this baby," like, whatever, and she's like, "It's all beyond me and love and light, and it's no big deal." And then they start talking about the drama, and she goes, "You know what? I think I wanna be back in." And I went, "That's why I think I
I love
like you,
that.
because it's so funny." Like, I feel like she must know what she's doing. This
Mhm.
feels very calculated. This doesn't feel like that's the thing. Yeah, I think the reason Taylor is so naturally likable, and I think it was in episode 4 where they were planning that, like, Macy's event, wasn't that episode 4, I think? And they
Mhm.
were like, "Well, you can put Taylor anywhere because she gets along with everybody." It's like, even when she's causing massive problems, like, well, but she can sit anywhere, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Um, like, that's not how you have to orchestrate. Because Michaela, I think, was doing the seating chart, and she's like, "I need to change everything that you did, okay? This is bad. This is bad. We're not." They
Michaela's another
Yeah,
one too, where I'm talking about, like, she's another Jen where they
yeah.
try to, like, pull her in and be like, "Michaela's bad now." It's like, the fuck she is.
Michaela is yeah, she's
She
not
can't
bad.
hang with these arch demons that I love dearly.
I mean, I have to say though, I do think I think Miranda is likable. I'm happy she's on the show. I'm
Mhm.
excited to see her more. We don't see enough of Layla. We didn't see enough of Michaela last season, but now we're starting to see her more. Like episodes 3 and 4 were more about Michaela and
Mhm.
really wild. Like when she was talking about she talked about her skin issues on the show last season, but then when she was talking about getting sexually assaulted as a kid,
Mhm.
um and she thinks that, a lot of her, skin issues and, stress just came from, not being believed and being treated so poorly, and, her mom sounds like a real piece of work. So that was really, interesting and good for her for opening up about that. I'm sure it helped some people. But, there was a running joke last season that we never saw Michaela ever, right? Like, she wasn't on the show. Like, Layla was on the show more than Michaela because she had, that divorce party and stuff like that, but we didn't see Michaela at all, and now I feel like it's flipped, but, of course, in this episode, we did see Layla a little bit more or episode 4 because she went on that date with Cameron, I won't forget it. I don't remember any of the men's names ever except for, Zach, because he's so ridiculous. Um, but let's get back to that. So, okay, so we start episode 3 at the Halloween party, just for a quick recap. And we've got Jason and Brett, and they're doing their little dancey dance and getting ready, and someone else, can't remember who else was doing it. Um, but then this was interesting, right? Okay, there was this fight, and this is how I interpreted it. It seemed like Demi started shit, and
Mhm.
then she was like, well, she started shit because she said, because Chase, okay, I didn't look at this very closely, so you tell me your interpretation. I may
Okay.
have been setting it up an easel because 'cause I'm an artist now. Um, but she said that, Chase put his hands on her, but I didn't see that. I just saw,
No!
a little, "Hey."
It was just kinda
Um,
like he, like, brushed by her. He just sorta, like,
yeah,
it
and
it
she's
was
like, "He
weird.
put his hands on me," and then she
I
goes and
mean,
tells her husband, and he's like, "I'm gonna go beat his ass," and
"I'm
she's
gonna
like, "Oh,
murder him!"
oops,
Yeah.
oops," and I'm like, "Yeah, you did that on purpose."
Oh, that was a total,
Yeah.
yeah, because, uh, I mean, are we going with, like, the literal version of what happened or, like, the spirit of what happened? Because technically, his hand did touch her, but when I
Right.
think, "Put my hands on someone,"
Yeah,
like,
it's like
that's
he's,
a or a
trying to move you instead of just
yeah.
like a, "Hey." And maybe he had too much momentum and it felt like a push or what, I don't know, but it just seemed like a very outsized reaction to what was actually happening. And here's what I'll say, I guessed that the cops were just related to the Chippendales dancing and they brought in, another stripper, which was
Mhm.
not true. They were actually cops that were
Yeah.
called because of, a noise complaint.
Yeah.
Um And I guess and that they were at Jesse's, right?
Mhm.
And they
She's
had
like, "I
just
just moved into
yeah,
this place,
she's
and
like,
they're
"They're gonna kick me
ghosting!"
out."
Yeah, maybe it's because you had, like I mean, it wasn't even the fact that you had, like, 5 people on your lawn, it's because you had 5 people and a camera crew.
Right, and they were screaming, and she goes, "Have you ever heard of the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives?" And they're like, "No," and she's like, "Mm, okay."
Like, she didn't believe him.
It's like, "No," like, she was like, "Oh, okay," like,
Okay,
"I can't
that's
get
not
out of
gonna
this
work.
one." Yeah, that's what it felt like to me, at least.
Mhm. "Do you
Um,
know who I am?"
yeah, do you know who I am? Zach yeah, so, anyway, so they do the Chippendales thing, though, and Zach was not happy. And here's
Mhm.
the thing okay, this is the other thing, this is one of the ways they were trying to paint Jen as a villain, and again, I'm not buying it, okay?
Yeah.
So they're like, "Oh, well, we talked about it at the salon, and she said that it was, like, so awesome. It was, like, such an awesome idea, and she loved it, and she thought it wasn't gonna be a problem, so we did that's why we did it, because she said it was gonna be fine." And then you, like, go to it, and it's like she's like, "Oh, yeah, that would be so funny," and it's like, I think she was just doing that to make you happy, and I
Mhm.
think she maybe who knows? I can't say for sure. But what I would say is if I was her, I would say that to be like, well, yeah, this is a way that Zach can look like he has a good sense of humor. So it's like a good opportunity for him to like redeem
Yeah.
himself.
They're trying to give Zach the redemption arc. They're I mean, they're
Mhm.
handing it to him, right?
Right. And just because she thinks it's funny doesn't mean he's going to think it's funny. So, and I don't actually think she thought it was going to be funny. I think she is just trying to make everybody happy. She's trying to make her
Mhm.
friends happy. She's trying to make Zach happy. And it's like the thing that's so hard is you see this glimmer of like she almost got out,
Yep.
and now it's like she's like just trying to like make peace with everybody and make everything good, to her own detriment, I think. Um, but yeah, I don't think that's her lying. Like when they're like,
Mhm.
"Oh, she was lying because she said that he was gonna think it's funny." I'm like, I didn't interpret it that way when they cut back
No.
to the salon at all.
No, not at all. The whole thing is it's so transparent. This is like
Yeah.
the evil malfeasance. It's like, "Okay, we're gonna do this because Jen has been trying to defend her husband," which I think is like a kind of a natural inclination, right?
Yeah.
Because you wanna do that, but then also you wanna I don't know, try you see this person a little bit differently, right?
Mhm.
So she's like, "Oh, well, he's changing and he's doing better and blah blah blah." And I'm sure he couldn't be any worse. So I guess
Right.
he's better. And so then they do this thing which is clearly going to antagonize him, right? Like I obviously that's the thing. It's like one of two things is going to happen. Either he's going to prove that he's not a douche, or this is going to antagonize him and make him jealous, et cetera, et cetera. Obviously, it makes him jealous. And then, it's like, well, Jen, you're a liar because he's a douche and we know it. And you're hiding the fact that he's a douche. It's like, good. What are you doing? This is the exact
Yeah.
scenario that you have concocted. What
I
you
feel
got what
like
you want.
she couldn't win. Like, if she had said, "No, I don't think that's funny," then it could have been spun like, "Oh, well, you don't wanna, like, give your husband a chance to redeem himself,"
Exactly.
or, like,
Exactly.
"You're a killjoy," or whatever. Like, I just
Yeah.
don't feel like there was a way for her to, like,
Mm-mm.
frame it up in a way
No, it's
that
it's not
yeah.
possible because if she goes, "Listen, I don't wanna do this because it's gonna make me uncomfortable because I know that, Zach's gonna react like a crazy person," then they'd be like, "Well, that just proves that he's terrible, and also that you have been just constrained by the Mormon church, and mom talk is about expressing yourselves and girl power," and all this shit that they don't actually care about.
Or if she had said that, they would have been like, "Oh, well, you were, like, lying about how about the tuition money, gambling it away," like, "So what else are you lying about? Is he really as controlling as you say? Like, if you say
Mhm.
that, maybe you're just trying to paint yourself as, like, this innocent, victim or whatever." So, like, I just yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think that there's a single way she could have answered that question. Um, And I think she knew that if she said yes or no, they would have done it anyway. So she probably stood the best chance of just saying, "Oh yeah, that's funny." And she probably does think it's funny because she
Mhm.
is very like fun, you know? She's like when she's doing her own thing, she's very like free-spirited and very funny and very outgoing and I think she can like take a joke.
Mhm.
So maybe she was like, "Well, I would react like this, you know, so maybe you would too." I don't know. I'm not sure, but like I just don't think that there was a good scenario for her and I think they, you know, they would have painted it like she was lying no matter how she answered it. So I don't think she would win. And then I mean, you know, having been married to someone that I felt like I had to defend a lot of the time, it's like
Mhm.
there's a lot of things that you don't see until you're out of it sometimes. Like you're just trying to go from one thing to the next and just and like make excuses and then you know maybe talk things out behind the scenes and go, "Hey, that wasn't so great what you did, but I stood up for you." But you don't do that. Go apologize to that person because you
Mhm.
said something not great or whatever. So I don't know. I would assume and that's why, like, I think she wanted to have that one conversation on camera, and he was like, "I'm not having this," and she's like, "No, I wanna talk it out on camera and, like, be real with me," because I do think I mean, like, what we saw on the show in the 1st season was ugly, but I bet it gets even worse when a camera isn't there, and
Yep.
I think she's like, "No, we're hashing this out now because it's like, you're not gonna keep making me look like, you know, I'm overreacting or whatever when like you're terrible to me." I don't know.
Mhm.
That's just what I think.
Nope, that's it. Yeah.
But yeah, so okay, so that yeah, there were the cops. Okay, Zach wasn't amused, and then we get to the Michaela stuff, and she starts talking about her skin issues, and and yeah, that like her mom didn't believe her when she was getting abused as a kid, and you know that and I mean good for her for like going to therapy and like saying that stuff because that's also something that I think is a bit of a taboo. I'm not sure. I
Mhm.
don't feel like it's super common for Mormons to go to therapy. I think they more go to like their bishops or whatever for that kind of stuff, right?
Sounds
I
about
think
right.
I don't think it's super common to go to therapy.
Yeah.
So good for her. But yeah, so then after the party, this is what I wrote. I think what Zach was doing after the party was like triangulating. Like, cause, you know, it's like, this will be the technique. You know, it's like,
Yep.
oh, well, I don't wanna hang out with your friends because they can't be good friends. If this is what they think is funny, they don't like you, okay? So it's like, you know, and then you hear Jen, like, I don't remember if it was the end of episode 3 or beginning of 4, but she talks about, like I think both, she kinda talked about, like, feeling so alone, you know, it's
Mhm.
like, he's boxing you in, and it's just like, she doesn't feel like she's on solid ground with him, right? But now he's telling you, I don't like your friends. I don't trust your friends. And I don't think they think very highly of you. So she's just feeling like, oh my gosh, I don't have anyone to turn to. And now there's this major thing happening in her life where she finds out she's pregnant and like they just moved back and all, you know, for her. And so it's like, oh, he made this huge sacrifice and whatever. And it just feels like, I don't know, the weight of everything is on her shoulders. Um, but it felt like triangulation to me, that technique.
Yeah. Oh, that's exactly what it is. It's transparent, completely
Mhm.
transparent. That is the fun thing about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is, there's the Mormon flavor, which we love, and there's also the fact that, like, when they do kinda calculated, malicious shit, it's so fun and transparent what they're doing. Like,
Yeah.
I sometimes I'm shocked at the direction that they take things in, but they always telegraph exactly what they're about to do.
Yeah, that is very true. Yeah, I don't know. It's just I wonder what that is. Is that a TV thing? Is that a Mormon thing? Is that
I
a just this group of people thing?
Who's to say?
Who's
Who's
to
to
say?
say?
Well, time will tell.
Time will
Um
tell if these people are just Mormon or if they're evil.
A little bit of both. No, so Miranda, I really do like Miranda. Like I said, she's one of obviously the newer people on the show, but I really like her already. And she's riding with Jen, so I'm team both of them. So that's cool. I think, I think it's sweet that Miranda's like, hey, you're on the outs. I'm coming in being on the outs. And already I think Miranda is being embraced quite a bit, which
Mhm.
is maybe surprising, but I think she's starting to be more honest and humble and all of that and not put up a front, and I think that's really good, and I think she's playing it right to get into everyone's good graces. And again, is that calculated? Sure, whatever, but
Yeah.
good technique, good technique. Um and yeah, so then yeah, this is where we get Taylor and she's like, "Well, this is everything we did together." And she's like, "We did this, we did this, we did this in this place, and we did this here, we did this here and this here." And Miranda's like, "She's not wrong."
That was a
And
well, I love
it was
this. We
so
talked about this in the
satisfying.
last episode, but
Yeah.
she was just like, "Well, all we ever did technically was kiss," which I guess again, technically is true, just like they put their hands on me or whatever. But then Taylor's like, "Yeah, we kissed naked in the same bed with our husbands, and then we had sex in the same bed with our husbands, and then we kissed in the shower." And you're just like, "I guess they just
A little
kissed."
different. It's a little different. And she's like, "Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Our definitions are different." And then she's
Mhm.
like, "But like that's a lot to admit to, and I was nervous and I was scared." And so and it's like, yeah, so you let Taylor get hung out to dry when like that was the thing. That's I think one thing that will always endear me to Taylor, because when this whole thing happened, like she was the one left holding the ball, right? And she had to
Mhm.
just like own up to everything. Because it was like it was either that or I don't know, fall off the face of the planet, or or let other people tell her story or whatever. And so she was just like, okay, you know what? This is what it
Mhm.
was, and this is what happened, and I'm just coming clean. And yeah, that means that other people have to decide to answer or not answer or whatever. And that puts them in a tight spot, I guess. But
Mhm.
I don't know. The rules are a little different when you're living publicly. Like I can't remember. There was a TikToker that I watched, and I think like Zach came for them or something, and they said something like, "Listen, you made a choice to make your life public on
Yeah.
reality TV. It's not just like some random person is going into your life and you're just minding your business and you're not like you don't have social media, you're not public in any way." It's like
No.
I understand that like I put my face on a lot of places and a lot of like I understand like someone said some weird shit to me on a client's video that I did about my glasses. And I just posted about it on LinkedIn. I did a whole big rant about it because I was like, because they were like, "Oh, like you're it's so distorted behind your glasses." Because I have an
Mhm.
extremely high prescription and adult strabismus, so my eyes cross if I don't have prisms in my lenses.
That's
so
fun.
so they're very like like they're very thick.
Mhm. With 2
And
C's.
what'd you say?
I said with 2 C's.
Yeah, very thick with 2 C's. So it's like there's really no way around it, and I don't like the way my face looks with small frames. I think I look like a creep.
Mhm.
So I like bigger frames, and so I worked with my optician to find ones that wouldn't be so heavy that they would hurt, wouldn't distort my vision, which is the important part, out of the
Yeah.
corners of my they'd still bows, everything um, looks like I mean, I could never be a flat earther because my lenses just make everything look very rounded. And when you first get a new prescription, it kind of looks like 3D glasses until your eyes adjust. So it's like you see like the red and blue outline on things. It's very weird. So anyway, but this person just like commented on a video that I did and was like, if you got like smaller, like I talked to someone at Lens Crafters. I'm like, "Oh, thank God
Mhm.
you talked to someone at Lens Crafters." Not like I've been seen by ophthalmologists, opticians, and optometrists for 30 years. Thank God you talked to one person at Lens
That's all you
Crafters.
need. That's all you need.
I'm like, my next step is surgery. Okay. like to fix my crossed eye. But this is, and he's like, this is as high as we're going to go. We're not going any higher. So once you start seeing double again, it's surgery time. And I'm like, okay, sounds good. And she was like, so that you don't get that effect where your face is all out of whack behind your glasses. And I was like, and I was just very calm. And I was like, I said, I like these frames and my next step is surgery, but I'm not going to be like, how dare you talk about my face? Like I did
Yeah.
post it and people were like actually coming out with pitchforks more than I expected. Like they were like, that's so rude. I think your glasses are really cute. I'm like, I'm not looking for validation. I think my glasses look really cute too. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I don't need anyone to be like, oh, I think it looks nice. I'm like, but I just think I do think it's weird when like, it's not like it was a video about that.
Sure.
It was a video about like investing. Someone's like talking about my glasses. Like I've had videos where I talk about like racism and people are like, what's your eyeshadow combo? I'm like, can you read the room? And I'm like, here it is. What a weird place to make this comment. And they're like, your eyeshadow just looks really pretty. And I'm like,
I
I
mean,
odd, very
listen,
odd choice.
priorities, Sammy. Come on. Come
I'm just
on.
like, okay. But like, I also it's like I will answer, I will respond with grace. I am not yeah, it's like I'm not like a public figure. I'm not like posting every part of my life. I'm not on reality TV. So there are
Mhm.
certain things that I'm like, you should keep that to yourself unless I talk about it and then feel free to talk about it. But I also understand like if you're any kind of public facing anything, you're people are going to just say weird shit to you or and they're going to think weird things about you. They're going to like come to odd conclusions like we say things that are probably way off base to real life because we are given this window, this sliver, and we are just it's like you're putting your own feelings, your own life experiences, your own points of reference into it
Mhm.
and that's what you do. It's like I don't know. Oh my gosh. Did you see everything about the princess treatment lady?
What
Did
what
did that
what
hit you?
who's the princess treatment lady?
Okay, see, okay, so we just did a thing one of with one of my clients, we did like a weekly like a icebreaker this morning and the question was, "What's your most used app on your phone?" And I said TikTok. And like
Mhm.
and I checked. And they were like, "I'm so surprised." And I'm like, "I guess you don't talk to me enough."
Is she now the princess treatment lady, that's different. Sorry, my window just, like, resized for no reason. Uh, the princess treatment lady, that's different from, like, the trad wife lady whose husband makes her wear a collar or
It
something,
is.
right?
It's actually they both happened like within the same week. That's so
Okay.
funny that you asked that. So,
I got collar lady.
yep, she's also yeah, very similar. Because and I don't remember if she's not Mormon though, right? The collar lady, I think
No, I think
she's
she's just a standard trad
garden
wife.
variety
Yeah.
Christian. Um, People are pretty sure the princess treatment lady is Mormon. One thing I do know is she mentioned like moving to Utah, and someone said she like met her husband at BYU. So I don't know about the met husband at BYU, but I
Mhm.
heard with my own ears that they moved to Utah. But basically, okay, she's this lady. She's got like a gas bob too, right? And she like leans forward in such a way like that like makes the rest of her body look really small, so she's like always talking like this. I don't It hurts my back. Like someone even in the comments was like, "Do you have scoliosis?" Which again, like not commenting on bodies, but it's very
Mhm.
odd. Like it's not a normal position to sit in. It was very much like I'm leaning all the way forward. Anyway, so she was like, "These are the rules." Like some of the rules included stuff like when we go to restaurants, I don't order anything. My husband orders everything. Oh, by the way, I showed this video to my husband and he goes, "I'm going to start doing this shit." And I was like, "You better not." He was like, "I have an idea." And I was like, "Shut up." Um but she was like and it got extreme, like, he will like okay, this is nice, like, this is something my husband does sometimes, like, if he thinks it's gonna be hard to park and the weather's not great, he will drop me off, he will go park the car, and then he will come in, right? That's
Yeah,
nice.
it's a nice thing to do.
I've done it too, like, if I'm driving, I'll drop him off, whatever, but most of the time, if we're going out, he's probably driving. Um and I was like, "Okay, that's normal." But then she's like, when we get into the restaurant, she's like, "I will just stand in the lobby and like not look at or speak to anybody until he comes. So, like, she won't go to the host and be like, "Oh, hey, we have a reservation for so and so at this time," and and go sit at the table and then text and be like, "Okay, honey, just come right in," right? Like, that's what I would do. That's what I
Is
would
he
do.
like, "And the lady will have blah,
Yes.
blah, blah." Oh, he does that. He
Yeah.
orders for it too.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, he orders for her. She doesn't say a word to, like, waitstaff or the host or anybody, and she's like, "And if they talk to me, I just say, 'Oh, my husband will be taking care of that.'" "Oh, I don't know. Just ask my husband." And she's like, "You don't have to overspeak. You don't have to you don't and you're not gonna laugh loudly. You're not gonna speak loudly."
Oh
You know?
God.
And I, like, noped out of that conversation real fast because I saw some very weird food behaviors. Like, I just right away, I was like, "This is, like, ED content for sure." And so I was just like, "I can't watch this."
Mhm.
I watched one video and I was like and then it was like think piece after think piece after think piece. Yeah, and people were like, um is this like the religious is this like kink veiled in religion? Is she being controlled? It was like the ballerina farms type of discourse again.
Mhm.
Is she yeah, like does she have an ED? Does she, whatever. Cause like that was the other thing. The way she was sitting, I was like, that to me screams eating disorder. Because I'm like, why are you trying to make yourself look so tiny? Like it's it's not like you're sitting like a pterodactyl or something. I don't know. Like it's very weird. Um, and yeah, people like clocked that pretty quickly, but I think she like jumped off the internet. But she was like, she's tried to like be a famous influencer several times. Like this isn't the first time, and this was obviously a deliberate attempt
Oh
to
dear.
be an influencer. But she doesn't really do anything that's that interesting because she just like counts her calories and hangs out at home. And they have a kid, but the kid is like older, so she doesn't have to really do a lot to take care of the
Just kind
kid
of
either.
exists.
Yeah, like they're old enough to like handle their stuff most of the time, so there's just not as much to do like stay at
Mhm.
home mom wise either. Um, but she's like, I got promoted to stay at home mom, like that kind of a thing. Anyway, that's been all over my FYP the last week. This princess treatment lady. And then she just I think she might be maybe she'll probably come back and, like,
The hardest
rebrand
job in the
and
world, it's mom.
yeah. Well, the hardest job in the world is apparently princess. But yeah, it's so weird because it's like the weirdest thing was when she said that he tied her shoes for her. That was really
I
strange.
don't want anyone doing that for me. What?
I know, that's what I say. It's like, I guess, it's like if I'm having someone tie my shoes for me, then I've lost the ability to tie my shoes and I'm paying them. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Although
So
someone did tie my shoe like 2 weeks ago, but not
really?
because I asked them to. I was in a bar and someone, like, walked up to me, was just like, "Your shoe's untied." And I looked down, and then she just knelt down and tied my shoe and then walked away, and I was just like,
That's like oddly intimate.
I
Yeah.
know, it was weird. I was like, but I didn't wanna be like, "Don't do that." So I was just like, "Thanks."
Oh my gosh. Like
Yeah, just do 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 do, pop, walked away. That's it.
that's like bringing me back to when I shared that story about someone who wanted to brush my teeth.
Yeah, I mean, it was done in like, it didn't feel like it was just like, "Hey, baby, I'm gonna tie your shoe." Like, it wasn't like that. It was a very like, "Hey, your shoe's untied." I looked out, that blah, blah, walked away. That's it.
Wow.
Like
I
a
do think I do think someone at Micro Center may have fallen in love with me the other day.
probably yeah, are you kidding me? A Micro Center? That's like
I
your
like I
core
like called Tuck
audience.
on the way home. I was like, I think I don't know. Either he thinks I'm not smart or he fell in love with me, and I can't tell which. But I went and bought
Why
more.
not both?
I went and bought more RAM for my computer, and he's like, "Are these 232s?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've got two other ones at home." He's like, "What do you do?" And I was like, "Well, I game and I stream and I do podcasts and stuff like that." And he's like, "What do you play?" And I'm like, I never answer that question of that. So here's princess
See, that's
treatment.
too intimate. That's
I never answer that. If a man asks me what I play and I don't know if they're cool because
yeah.
I don't want to be like, well, like The Sims and
Stardew
whatever.
Valley, yeah. It's like,
Yeah,
"But you're
Stardew
both
Valley.
great."
Yeah, I'm like, you're gonna judge me if I'm like Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
But but like also Civilization, okay? But I haven't bought 7 because I've heard it's trash. But anyway, so like yeah, I don't answer that. I'm like, I don't know, a lot of stuff. Anyway, but then he got like really flustered at the end of our transaction and he was just like, well, have fun doing like whatever it is that you're doing. Okay, bye. And I was like, does he think I'm doing something weird? Is he impressed? Does he think I'm dumb and bad? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Hard to say.
I shouldn't say dumb. I should say, does he think I'm a silly goose? But anyway, but no one's tied my shoes for me. I just think I impressed someone at Micro Center
Yeah.
with my ridiculous RAM purchase. It was on sale, it was $100 off. But I also got this numpad that also functions as a keyboard and it like lights up.
What?
And wait, hold on. I figured out how I can have it say boobies, like even with a mirror. Look at it says booby. Oh wait, no, I did it wrong.
Oh no. You
Hold on.
reversed your boobies.
IES. IES.
How can you run a podcast you don't know how to spell boobies on a calculator?
Boobies. I did it. It says boobies. And isn't it cool? It lights up.
That
Anyway,
is pretty nifty.
it's a mechanical numpad because I have a 65% keyboard. Anyway, we're so on topic today. So, princess treatment. So, yeah, anyway, I think that princess treatment lady was probably a Mormon. And that's the thing. It's like, it's interesting because I feel like the Mormon church has so many rules and so
Mhm.
much control. And it's like either it's like, kind of like Mormon Rumspringa or whatever, or they're like, no, I like this kind of control.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, okay, I guess. Um, let's see. Oh yeah. So it was episode 3 where yeah, I wrote Whitney fucking cracks me up. I also just watched a TikTok. See, this is my most used app of what's his name? Jake Thomas? Is that his name? From Lizzie McGuire.
Oh.
Where he did the interview, where he's like they're like, what do you want to do? And he was at an Osmosis Jones uh video or movie premiere and he's like, I'm really looking forward to cracking up. I haven't cracked up in a long time and I'm really looking forward to cracking up. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway. Uh and I wrote in my notes. I literally watched that as I was getting ready. Yeah, Jake Thomas. Um and I wrote Whitney cracks me up, which just cracked me up because I just watched the video of him reacting to that years later and he's like, I think that's like such a funny video. I
I
think
do
it's so
love the
cool.
idea of, like, Whitney in a group chat and with Miranda, and she's just like, "Okay, we're gonna plan this thing because I think it'd be cute to do a mom talk thing for this, and this is how I'm getting back into mom talk." And then nobody says anything, but Miranda's right there. She's like, "Okay, I'll support you." And then they just bounce around to everyone. They're like, "Whitney's a dumb bitch. I would rather burn in hell for all of eternity than talk to her about wearing coordinated t-shirts."
Oh my gosh. Wait, was that in episode 4? Or what episode was that? I don't remember the t-shirts thing. Does
Oh,
that come later?
that might have been from later, but this is
Okay.
like but
See,
this is just like
you're like
the
the vision of the future.
I'm sorry. I
No.
can't stop myself. I gotta slow down so
I
I can
know,
keep up
I've
with the
been
show.
just taking it 2 episodes at a time. I like episode 4 ended on like a cliffhanger because there was like, I think Jen is fake. And I was like, what?
Oh,
And then I
what a
was like,
cliffhanger.
can't watch it. Can't watch it. I'm done.
Yeah, but this
Uh,
is like but that's kind of like illustrative of Whitney. 1, why she's funny. 2, just how pervasive this whole like mom talk thing is, where these people are constantly like debasing themselves just to stay in the group. When it's unclear to me why any of them need each other. Do you just need like other conventionally attractive women to like dance to songs while you're
right.
Mormon on TikTok?
Well, and that's the thing. The only videos, like I mentioned this, the only videos that really show up on my FYP are Whitney for some reason. I'm not following her. Like, and I'll see Taylor's too.
Mhm.
Um, and that's really it. I see Jen every once in a great while as well. They're the only ones I really ever see. Um, but I've seen like I f- like I was aware of Taylor. Like she was the
Mhm.
one I was aware of because all of her weird rage baity videos where she would say she's 54 years old or
Oh,
whatever the
yeah.
fuck used to show. And then I forgot that she was the one who talked about like having a ghost and stuff. Dude, she is so funny. Um, but, like, hers would show up as, like, a mom talk thing, but, like, Whitney, it only shows up when it's just her or it's, like, her and Connor, and that's it. I've never really seen any Whitney mom talk stuff. I feel like I only see Michaela's stuff as an ensemble.
Mhm.
And I only see Jesse's stuff in the salon, really. And Jen, I always see her dancing on her counter.
Mhm.
Like, that's how I see them. So it's like I don't even see all of their mom talk content. For a lot of them, I'll see their like individual stuff or their business stuff or whatever. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just so funny. And she's just like serene motherhood, everything's good. And then she's like, you know what? I think I want to be back in. Should I be back in? And I'm like, I mean, you were the one who self-selected out anyway. Like, so
Oh,
it's
yeah,
just
she
it's
she
all
removed herself
you
from the group
manufactured
chat.
drama. Yeah, it's like
"How do I get back in now?" It's like it's what is this, the mob? Like, what you you could
yeah.
never leave mom talk.
Like, oh gosh, I'm trying to I feel like there was something oh gosh. I don't know if that was a video she did with some other people or if it was like a cut I saw or something like that. But about her like, like, well, I don't run away from my problems or whatever. And then
Mhm.
she's like running away, it's like in the video and it's like, yeah, you literally ran away to Hawaii to avoid your and that's
Oh
why I
my
think you're
god.
funny. Um Yeah, so then episode 4, I have, like, almost no notes, but we're almost an hour in, so we've probably talked about this stuff plenty, but basically, yeah, I wrote Layla's pretty, I don't know about her boyfriend, but as long as he's nice to her, I like him. He just it's like that other meme that's been going around where it's like a pretty brat stall with, like, that rat from Flushed Away.
That's what he yeah. No, seriously, I was just like, I think, like, on the conventionally attractive scale, you're doing pretty good, Layla, and I can't
Yeah,
help
she's
but
so
notice
pretty.
that you're dating a guy who looks like acclaimed Florida rapper Riff Raff. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
This
I
is
mean, he does look better than her ex, I will say that,
yeah,
because
but
her
it's
ex looked, like, creepy.
this is not Bushwick, you can't have a rat boy summer, like, it's not okay, and then she's like, "Also, I wanna bang him, but I just can't." It's like, yeah, because he looks like a fucking rat, so maybe that's the problem, but then, of course, the answer is, "No, we have to have a sex party
Yeah.
with, like, little, like, ostrich feathers and vibrators and a butt cake, and this is gonna make Layla the right amount of horny for her boyfriend."
Yeah, it was odd. That whole premise was odd. I don't know why I didn't take notes. I think I just, like, didn't wanna think about it.
Oh, this is
Um,
like a total classic in the mold of Housewives.
yeah,
Like,
they've
"Oh,
they've done
the
an episode like
producers
this
set
so
up a
many
thing
times. Yeah.
to justify a thing." And it's just like, Layla's not getting laid because rat boy, and so this is our solution. And that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I just hope he's nice to her. That's all I hope. I hope he's
Mhm.
nice to her. I hope he treats her well because she deserves it. But yeah, this whole thing was just so odd. And then it was like they had like the women pair up and like get blindfolded and stuff and be like, "Do you want it harder or softer?" And I was just I'm uncomfortable and I'm not in this room. Um but good for them. They had silly, giggly fun. Um, and then what else? I don't know. I didn't have a lot of notes about this episode at all. Before that though, Zach is again trying to like redeem himself and he's like, I'm gonna do a boys' day with like Jordan and Brett, and he's like, I'm gonna confront them about this Chippendales thing. And I'm just like,
Mhm.
here's the thing that makes housewives good, right? The thing that makes housewives good is the husbands are funny, and they don't fight with each other. That's what makes
No.
a good Housewives franchise is, like, I don't know, well, not always New Jersey, but sometimes New Jersey, more lately, right? Or like trying to think of some of the best husbands.
Dorit talking about PK all the time.
Yeah, like yeah, like you gotta go to, like, if you have husbands who genuinely I feel like New Jersey had lots of good years of good husbands, um, as long as, like, both Joes weren't in the room, right?
Yeah,
That's,
yeah.
like, when it was fun, um, but it's, like, that's what makes good husbands is when they're, like our wives are fighting, whatever. We're gonna just like drink and play golf. And so like just and I feel like a lot of the husbands on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives want to do that. They want to just like
Mhm.
vibe and they're like, whatever, you guys are fighting, it's fine. But Zach did not get the memo and he's just like trying to be, yeah, like a wet blanket. And like he's just trying to restore this image he's never gonna fully get because it's not who he is. So like you
Yeah.
can't do a redemption tour when there's nothing to redeem.
Nope, there's nothing there. There's nothing
That's what
there.
I think.
Can't polish a turd. That's the technical term.
Yep. Yeah. So anyway, so that was kind of like a bust, I feel like. And I oh gosh, I really didn't take many notes at all. I do have I will put this in the notes as well. I do have a vulture recap, but I don't know why I don't have many notes on this episode. I must have been really engaged in putting an easel together.
I don't know.
Sorry.
I was just appalled at the world's weirdest sex party. Like literally, it's just like sex stuff that is just like strewn about. And then at some point, they're just like talking about it's like, what do you like? And one of them's just like, I like dirty talk. And then they
Oh
start
yeah,
talking
yeah, yeah.
about like their sexuality, and they're like, I'm the straightest straight ever. No, I'm straighter. I made out with girls, but I'm the most straight. Like that's the
Yeah,
whole
it's like
conversation.
you're not gonna take a Kinsey scale test at this. It's
No,
gonna be
that's not what we're
fine.
doing.
You
Yeah.
can
But
relax.
again, it's just like even when they're trying to be like, "Ooh, we're edgy and Mormons can have dildos too," they're still just like, "Oh, but not gay stuff."
Yeah, it's so yeah, that's so true. It's so weird. Yeah, and I won't get into like the lavender marriage discussion of it all, but yeah,
Mhm,
it's like that's the other thing, like that's another part of the repression, right? It's like this whole compet thing, this, compulsory heterosexuality that happens in Christian fundamentalism and a lot of conservative Christian circles and in Mormon
mhm.
circles. It's just like that's what's going to happen. So it's like, I mean, that's why I think, not that Jen I feel like Jen is more free spirited, and obviously Taylor's been very open about this stuff. And but
Mhm.
she was like, I mean, like I just did it, but like
Yeah,
she is a good kisser though, and it's like you're almost there, you're almost there.
just take the next
just
step.
just take the next step and just be open about the stuff you like. It's all good. It's no big deal, Taylor. It's no big deal. And as long as you get out of the Mormon church, it's no
Mhm,
big deal. No judgment. It's not a big deal. um yeah. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Yeah. Mr. Optics. um okay, so here's a big thing that happens with this episode is Macy's got well, so Macy had like got wrote a book, and so she's like, we're gonna have a book party. So she's got a business, she's got a book, and she's like, I got these confessions. And remember last year I was getting these confessions and a lot of them turned out to be true. So
mm.
sitting out here like Nostradamus, it's like, well, we'll just remember the ones that came true. But she said Brett slept with someone last year when Demi was away. And we already know that Demi has like a slight controversy because maybe she got a little flirty with that guy from Vanderpump Villa, right? So
Marciano, the Jax Taylor of Europe, the Vegas bad boy.
so there's just a lot of like, it's like, oh, it feels like if we're going to go back into housewives territory, it feels very much like Lisa Vanderpump talking about like Kyle and Mauricio, but
Mhm.
not talking about Kyle and Mauricio, right?
Yeah.
That's definitely where it's like, ooh, are cracks forming? Oh, has there been infidelity? Oh, I don't know. Um,
Well, and Demi's husband, he needs to be careful because he's like 3,000 years old, right? Like he used to be married to a housewife.
True. He was married to wait, what's her name from Salt Lake City?
Oh,
Hatmaker?
yeah, I forget.
Angie Hatmaker? Something like that?
But yeah, so yeah,
Anyway,
he was married to a housewife and then
he was
clearly
also
that.
he was also on The Bachelor, The Bachelorette. He was on
Mhm.
Claire Crowley's season.
Yeah.
I did not know that until
Yep.
just recently, and I
And then
went,
he
"What?"
settled down with a 19-year-old or whatever. However old she was.
Okay, they wait, what is their age gap? Because again, I'm in an age gap.
Yeah, but, like, you're like a
Oh my
fully
god, though.
formed adult.
Oh my god, but do you know when they first met? Holy shit. This
Yeah.
is what Us
How
Weekly
old was
said.
she? 9 and he was, like,
9.
37?
She was 9?
Wait, no, is that true? Is that actually true?
Well, that's what it says on Us Weekly.
No,
Hold
no,
on.
no, I was joking. Is that how old she was?
That's what it says.
It's not a joke? I'm not doing a
Hold on,
goof?
I'll post it. Listen, okay,
Where where's their first date? Chuck E. Cheese?
well, I think they met in a different way, you know? Yeah, when I was wait, hold on. I don't know if they met then. Hold on. Angie Harrington. Why'd I say hat
He
maker?
he
That's somebody
picked her up
different.
from 5th grade.
Angie Harrington. Hold on. Wait. Oh, Jen Hatmaker. She's like a influencer, right? Anyway. Um, okay, hold on. I don't know if they actually wait. No, no, no. They didn't meet then. She just said that.
Okay.
Okay. I saw it and I was like, "Whoa," because she said, "When I was 9 years old, he was married to his first wife and having babies." It's like one of those things where, like, yeah, with me and my husband, I'm like, "Let's not," and it's like, "Let's just not talk about, like, where we were in, like, 1995." You know what I mean? Like, we don't need to
Mhm.
know. Uh, like, were you in college and, my teeth were falling out? Like,
Mm,
and I had bad bangs? Like, yeah. But, like, we don't need to talk about it. Um, so let's see. But she said, okay, Brett was previously married, yeah, to Angie Harrington, and they have 2 kids. And Demi may have been, or Demi said he may have been married a second time. She hinted that he was married a second time. She was previously married. Okay. She said she had an innocent little girl crush on Brett. One thing I heard was that she had she told him to go on The Bachelorette or something like that,
okay.
and then, like, she broke up with her husband, shortly after, and obviously it didn't work out for him on The Bachelorette, and then they got together, but let me just see. When she was 18, Brett followed Demi, who was dating her ex-husband at the time, on Instagram. 18. To me, that sounds like you're waiting until someone turns 18.
Oh my
For the
god.
record, I met my husband when I was 21, but we didn't really know each other that well. He did not follow me, and I was an adult. And then we started dating when I was 30. Anyway,
30
just for
fine.
yeah, I was 30.
9 not so fine.
I was 30 and I had already been married and divorced. Okay. Um, okay. Anyway, so wait, she said she was starstruck because of how big of a deal he was in their small town. So, like,
Oh
she
god.
knew about him and he followed her at 18. Those are the things that make it
Mm,
fishy, right?
yeah, don't love it. Don't
Yeah.
love it.
She thought he was a bad boy.
Mm.
Um, yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So as they were considering divorce, again, this is from Us Weekly. I will post it. Demi and Blake ran into Brett at the gym, and the three chatted about a possible modeling opportunity for Maud, her kid.
Mm.
During their conversation, Demi found out that Brett was single, and she suggested that he go on The Bachelorette.
Hmm.
Demi and Blake anonymously submitted Brett for the ABC series, and a few days later, Brett got the call that they wanted to consider him for Claire Crawley's season.
Interesting,
Yeah, he was
interesting.
cast on the show. And then around the same time, Demi decided to part ways with her ex-husband.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then she like messaged him again about this whole baby modeling situation. And then he was like helping or whatever, and then yeah, and she's very careful about like it was an appropriate amount of time, and we waited to these things, and we didn't start seeing each other until then, like very carefully crafted, type of a thing. So
Mm,
anyway,
god.
and then they got together in 2020. Okay, so that's the thing. Um s- yeah, it's a little weird. So yeah, there's potentially trouble afoot. Listen, if she thought he was the bad boy, maybe he was the bad boy. I don't know.
Mm.
Or maybe they have some kind of agreement that we don't know about. And people are
Also
trying to
a
blow up their spot.
possibility.
You never know. So let's see. Then Yeah, so we've got more Jen and Miranda hanging out stuff. Um, and yeah, and she gets into like a fight with Zach, all of that. And then Jen asks Miranda about her divorces on the Vulture. Yeah, and then tears up before she even begins talking about her current crisis of faith and bottomless well of doubt. That was the thing that was so hard. It was just like she's like, "I'm going through the separation and I'm having a
Mhm.
crisis of faith." And it's like, "Oh my gosh, like if, if these things had lined up this way or you made this choice, like I just feel like it does feel like so close to tipping, and that's really just so tough. I don't know."
Mhm.
And that happened right before this, like, Zach redemption tour at the, going golfing or whatever. Um,
It's how you
so
redeem someone.
and they're like, "Also, we're dad talk, okay?" So they have mom talk and we have dad talk.
Oh
So
god.
it's very important,
Just lifting up
Um,
dads everywhere. Breaking
yeah.
down stereotypes. We're not douches.
So weird. So yeah, so then they do this remove the taboo thing, whatever. Oh yeah. This was in the Vulture recap too. If for a second here you thought, wow, loving this homoeroticism, think again. Demi says she's so straight, it's scary.
God.
um yeah, but yeah, I do think Taylor was like really like feeling that compat thing where she was just like, "Well, I did kiss, but it was just a thing we did. I didn't really think about it, but she is a good kisser." And I'm like, "That's the truth." So lean into that a little bit more. Um, but yeah, so Jen is not really telling, like, this is the other thing that's hard is like we know what Jen's going through and she is like keeping it bottled up. And the thing is, if she wanted to wield more power and make the show about her, she could share more of this information
Mhm.
and get back into the women's good graces faster. Um and she's choosing not to do that, I think, because she's in a relationship with a really manipulative guy.
Yeah.
And they don't see that. So then she just feels even more isolated because he's already convinced her that, like, they're not, good. And also, I feel like he's kind of trained some of her friends to be like flying monkeys, too, if we're going into that vein. Like, they're going back and telling him stuff, which is shitty.
Not great.
It's shitty. Anyway, so yeah, but then we have like these confessions and all of that stuff. And they're, a lot of them are just kind of like goofy little, like, I had sex in this place or
One time
whatever.
I farted in McDonald's. Like it's all pretty like low stakes like
Yeah.
TV stuff. Well, until we get to like Jake Jen's a dumb fake bitch or something. Like that's so mean. Even if you think that, why is this the vehicle for that? Well, I mean, the answer is because there's a producer and you're like, just do this. It's a good idea. It's real mean shit. Yeah, you got a really weird face right now. This is the Steve show. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're just like this. "Hi, my name's Sammy. I'm a smart lady." That's what you look like. Wow, you can try your best. Do you want me to, like, mime your mouth while you say the words that outro us? Alright, let's try and do that. I like how I'm giving you a mean face while I'm doing it too. I don't use needle drugs. Da 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 da. It's the outro music. It's not possible at all. I hope it's fine. See you later. Oh, it's my show now. I run this podcast. Hey, welcome to the Steve Show. I'm Steve. What are we talking about? Steve topics. Who's your favorite Steve? Steven Seagal, Steve Gutenberg. A lot of Steves out there. You ever seen the movie All About Steve? I think it's got about a 9% on Rotten Tomatoes. But coming from a Steve perspective, it's a pretty hot ticket. That's all we have for the Steve cast today. But tune in next week where we're going to discuss more Steve topics like Steve Martin, Silver Fox, or just Foxy Guy in general. Is he the king of the white haired Steves? We'll find out next week. User is experiencing some connection issues. Who knew? Should I just wait more?